Hello friends, I am Shravana and welcome back to my channel Sparkling Future. Today we will discuss about adaptive query execution feature in Spark. Before starting with today's topic, I request all of you to subscribe to my channel and also please like, share, comment and hit the bell icon for the latest video notifications. Thank you. In the previous videos, we have seen what exactly will happen when you submit a SQL or data frame query, and what kind of plans will be generated, like logical plan and physical plans will be generated, and how Spark will select the best physical plan and how the code will be executed. That we have discussed in the previous video. So this adaptive query execution is an optimization technique in Spark SQL that will use the runtime statistics to choose the most efficient query execution plan. So instead of going through all these things, based on the runtime statistics, this adaptive query execution will choose the query execution plan, and it will send that to the bytecode code generation, and it will send to the scheduler for the compilation. Okay, so this is the most effective for some cases, and this is mainly used, this AQE is right, adaptive query execution is used as very good optimization, one of the very good optimization techniques in Spark. So this setting is enabled by default in Spark 3.2.0. In the earlier versions we need to enable it by using the setting Spark SQL adaptive enable to true. So in the adaptive query execution, the main features, the most important features that we need to look for are these three features. So all these are enabled in after 3.0, Spark 3.0, and this converting sort merge and all are enabled after 3.2.0 version. So from 3.0 version, these three, we can say that these three are enabled. So first one is coalescing post shuffle partitions. So this feature helps in optimizing the shuffle partitions while running the queries, which means that you don't have to set the required number of partitions for your dataset. Spark will analyze and pick up the partition count on its own during the runtime. Like by default it will take 200, right, and sometimes you will set based on your dataset, but it's not required when you use this option. So while using this configuration, we need to make sure that these two, the Spark SQL adaptive enable to true, and the second one Spark SQL adaptive coalesce partitions dot enable to true, these two settings should be present to true, enabled, these two should be enabled, then only this first feature will be enabled. And also you have to give this initial partition number to the initial partition number that you wanted to start with. Spark SQL adaptive coalesce partitions, this feature to be enabled. Let's say you are not enabling, that means by default it will take whatever is configured to this one, Spark SQL shuffle partitions. Okay, by default it's 200, but if you don't set this one, whatever you have configured for this particular configuration, that will be considered here. So you just have to make sure that these two, the first two are set for this, and the third one to be there, otherwise it will take this default partition. Next, second one is converting sort merge join to broadcast join. For example, by default the physical plan gives the sort merge join in the physical plan, but whereas in that join, right, there might be based on the runtime statistics, one table is, or one small table has been chosen. So that time it will convert automatically, the AQV feature will convert the join from sort merge join to broadcast join. Automatically it will enable that, and it will apply the broadcast join there. And similarly with the sort merge join, if there is something we have to do with the shuffled hash join is better for the given query, then it will convert the, by default, even if we have set the property for sort merge join enablement, it will convert the sort merge join enablement to shuffle hash join. So for that we need to make sure that this auto broadcast threshold to that value we have to set it, and also max shuffled hash join local map threshold, these two threshold we need to check in such cases for better performance. And the third one is the optimizing skew join. And this feature helps in handling the data skew into equally sized tasks. So this feature will be enabled when both this adaptive enabled to true and also this adaptive skew join enabled to true. When these two, the first one and this last one, right, when both are enabled, then only this auto skew join, optimizing skew join feature will be enabled. So now this is about the theory of AQE for answering in interviews. Now we will see the difference. Okay, what exactly will happen. So now let's say I have a data frame, second data frame. Now I am joining this first one and second one by passing one key. Now when I run this query, I am opening the UI, Spark UI. These are some other jobs. Okay, that's why we have 5 jobs here. And now in that UI, go to SQL, open the latest task, and when you scroll down it will give the first scanned, which means that we are scanning means creating the data frames and we are performing some operations, and by default it has applied the sort merge join because that might be the best physical plan that has taken out of this join query that we have. Then finally the collect limit, we have the show rate, the collect limit. So this is the default DAG it has created. Okay, and this is the sort merge join it has selected and it has applied the same. Now let's enable this query. Spark.setConf. So we have to enable this one, Spark SQL adaptive enable to true. Now I am enabling and then rerunning this query. The query is running. It has created 3 Spark jobs and I am opening the latest one and I am going to SQL, selecting the latest one, and if I scroll it down you can see still it has taken the sort merge join, but after that this adaptive Spark plan is true. If I place the cursor you can see, right, adaptive Spark plan which is made it as enabled to true, and earlier we have seen that this was not done, which means that it has applied this optimization on the plan that it is getting from the previous activities. So this is how we will activate the AQE. Okay, this will help in optimizing the Spark jobs when you are not sure which type of join to use or which type of optimization techniques to use in the code, right? If you can leave that to Spark by enabling this adaptive execution, then it will give the optimized performance for the code that you are working on. And you just make sure that these are the properties that we need to take care while enabling the features through adaptive query execution. Hope this is useful to you friends. Thank you for watching the video. Please subscribe to my channel for more interesting learnings. Thank you.